And now, the director of Carte Noire, Michaela GRILL. Hello, Michaela. Michaela, your film was commissioned by a festival as a carte blanche.
Oui.
And you've decided to make a carte noire.
Yeah.
So tell us about the condition of the production of this film and about your intention in doing it.
Well, they gave me total, it was a real carte blanche. The only option, well, they said like up to 5 minutes. That was my only limitation. And then I decided I want to do something that kind of represents what film is as an essence. So I thought, well, a road movie, of course, that's the essential filmic device. It can be a comedy, it can be, a film noir, it can be everything basically. So I decided on the street as the topic of the film. And because it looked, like, after working on it, I thought like, oh my God, I'm in Lynch territory, so the owl had to be the end as a kind of bow to David Lynch.
What does it represent, the road movie, for you?
Well, it can be everything, basically. It represents, I don't know, independent US films from the 1990s that had a real spirit of freedom. It represents, films from the 1930s, gangster movies with like old cars that drive around in the darkness. So it can, I think it's pretty open to whatever the audience wants to see. Because like for me, it's always, I'm just making a suggestion. The real filmmaker is the audience, because they have to make the film on their own.
So it suits especially well to a film festival, because your film was commissioned by a film festival, and the film was at first screened in the beginning of the screening there.
Yeah, and they also used it, I think, like in the metro and on their webpage. So it was this kind of promotional tool in a way to say like, look what film can be, look what a festival can be, look what you can experience if you open yourself up to film.
Is there a paradox, or at the opposite, a fantastic opportunity when an experimental film, a film that uses a form that is experimental, is also a promotional film?
I think so. I think it's very encouraging from a festival to say like, no, like, I mean, I have to say they gave it to 4 people, so it was not only experimental, it was also Ed Megoyan and Bruce LaBruce, so it was like, different kind of genres that they picked, but they have a commitment to experimental film, and they wanted to also show it by giving me this carte blanche.
Technically, so how did you work in this film?
Well, I just found like an old footage of a street I shot while I was on holiday in Death Valley. So it's like really old mini DV material. And then I have a live program which is called VDMX, which allows me to manipulate, to use the sound as a tool for manipulation. So I can say like the bass, for example, triggers the blurriness, and I can all mix it live. So I played around with the software and, built layers and layers and layers, until I thought it's really a trip from a rather, sinister street to like a more wide, post-apocalyptic landscape to the bird in the end.
So there is no film stock at any stage of the process?
No, it's just digital, digital film pixels.
Okay. Strange, because I really had the feeling, especially in the white, that there was this sort of.
I'm a huge supporter of. There's not that much difference between film and video if you know how to manipulate it. So you can pretty much make video look like film. I mean, and if this would be an experimental film festival, I would be crucified for saying that right now. But animators seem to be pretty fine with that.
There's not so much crispation around this here. Is there a question from the people in the theater, in the room. Michaela GRILL, thank you very much.